Next on BGSU Brain Game, it is Pettisville versus Northwood. I think we better get ready for a little bit of brain boxing. Only one team can leave victorious. Who's it going to be? Only one way to find out. BGSU's Brain Game starts right now. And welcome to BGSU's Brain Game, Pettisville versus Northwood. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for Pettisville, led by coaches Kester and Civic. In slot number 1, we have Lauren, she's a senior. Slot number 2, we have Emily, a junior. Slot number 3, Caroline, a sophomore. Now for Northwood, led by Coach Myers. In slot number 1, we have Adelaida, a senior. Charlie in slot number 2, a senior. And Myriad in slot number 3, a sophomore. Those are your starting lineups for this game of BGSU's Brain Game. Let's get things started off as we always do with our toss-up round. In this round, there are 10 questions. They're worth 10 points apiece. No deduction for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in. And there is stealing in this round, but if you buzz in and you get it wrong, I will finish the question for the other team. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. Identify the leader of the Sioux Indians who was killed on South Dakota's Standing Rock Reservation in 1890 after helping members of the Ghost Dance Uprising. Time, that would be Sitting Bull. When Frederick Bartholdi designed his Statue of Liberty as a gift to the United States, what material that now exhibits a colored, that would be Northwood, Myriad?
Copper.
Copper is correct. Okay, what type of creature are the following characters from literature? Boxer in Animal Farm, Barnum, that would be Pettisville, Emily?
Horse.
They are indeed horses. Multiple choice question. What type of reasoning is used in the determination of the terms of a sequence based on patterns observed in the first 4 or 5 terms? It is often compared and contrasted with deductive reasoning. Is it A, that would be Northwood? Charlie?
Arithmetic sequence.
Incorrect. Would it be A, analogical, B, cause and effect, or C, inductive? That would be Pettisville, chance to steal. That would be Caroline.
C, inductive.
That is correct. That's what we were looking for. Preamble rock layers filled with water often supply our world's farmers and families with wells. What name is given to these underground water sources? That would be Northwood, Myriad.
Aquifer.
Aquifer, yes. If your birthday is in October, you probably know the precious gemstone that Australia produces more of than any other nation in the world. Name the stone that ranges in color from milky white. That would be Northwood, Myriad.
Opal.
Opal is correct. In 1969, this village in New York State was the site of a rock music festival. That would be Pettisville, Emily.
Woodstock.
Woodstock is correct. In the English language, we use phrases such as and so on or and so forth to indicate other items that follow. What is the Latin translation of the abbreviation ET? That would be Pettisville, Caroline.
Etc.
We will accept that. Next question is a multiple choice question. What U.S. city is home to the Stratosphere Tower? Is it A, Chicago, B, Las Vegas, or C, Los Angeles? That would be Northwood. Adelaida.
Chicago.
It is not Chicago. Pettisville, chance to steal. That would be Caroline.
C, Las Vegas.
It was technically B, but you did say the right town. Multiple choice. Identify the part of a gasoline engine that functions as a valve to restrict the intake of air above the fuel jets, causing a vacuum that pulls more fuel into the intake. Is it A, a fuel pump, B, a starter, or C, a choke? That would be Northwood, Myriad.
C.
C, choke, correct. Oh, that is all 10 questions in this round. Let's take a look at our score. Well, a very close competition indeed. We have Northwood with 40 points, Pettisville with 50 points. We're just getting started here, folks. Stick around because our risk and reward round is coming up next. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. Pettisville, 50 points. Northwood, 40 points. A very close competition indeed. We do have some substitutes on our teams. So for Pettisville in slot number 1, we have Macy, a sophomore. And for Northwood, subbing in slot number 2 is Lizzie, a junior. Welcome to both of our new players and our returning players. This is our risk and reward round. Both teams are going to get the same 9 questions. They're worth 10 points apiece. No deduction for an incorrect answer. 10th question, though, is our risk and reward question. We'll give you a topic. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments based upon that topic. Get it right, bonus points. Get it wrong, I'm afraid to say, you're going to lose those points, or non-answer will also result in negative points. But if you don't like the topic, you can just simply pass. All right, so since Pettisville, you have 50 points, you will be sticking around. Northwood, off to isolation you go. All right, Pettisville, are you ready for your risk and reward round? Buckle up, here we go. First question is a multiple choice question. In what Italian city would you view the statue of Michelangelo's David? Is it A, Rome, B, Florence, or C, Milan? That would be Emily.
Florence.
Florence is correct. Next question. What type are the pronouns mine, yours, his, and ours? That would be Macy.
Possessive.
Possessive is correct. What French cooking term is used to refer to cutting vegetables into strips? Time. That would be julienne. The final scene of Hamlet is a bloodbath. The last character to die before Hamlet is Ophelia's brother. Name him. Time. Laertes is what we were looking for there. Which 4 presidents are portrayed on Mount Rushmore? That would be Emily.
Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt, Jefferson.
More specific on Roosevelt.
Theodore.
Correct. Multiple choice question. Which state claims the nickname the Land of Enchantment? Is it A, Utah, B, New Mexico, or C, Oregon? That would be Emily.
New Mexico.
New Mexico is correct. What is the name of the silk spinning organ used by spiders to create webs and trap insects for food? That would be Macy.
Thorax.
Incorrect. Spinnerets is what we were looking for there. True or false question. Great Britain was the first nation to abolish slavery. Not in time. It is true. This mathematician wrote the elements. That would be Macy.
Mendeleev.
Incorrect. Euclid. Risk and reward time. Topic is sinking ships. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments on this topic, or you can simply pass. Pettisville, what do you think?
10 points.
10 points it is. Sinking ships. Of these 3 ships, which was sunk first? The Lusitania, the Titanic, or the Andrea Doria? Sorry, not in time. It was indeed the Titanic. Unfortunately, negative 10 points for you, but great round for you. And it's time to now clear your score and send you off to isolation. Right this way. And all right, let's bring back in Northwood. Come on in. Welcome back, Northwood. Are you ready for the risk and reward round?
Yep.
Here we go. First question is a multiple choice question. In what Italian city would you view the statue of Michelangelo's David? Is it A, Rome, B, Florence, or C, Milan? That would be Adelaida.
Florence.
Florence is correct. What type of pronouns are mine, yours, his, and ours? That would be myriad.
Personal.
Incorrect. Possessive. What French cooking term is used to refer to cutting vegetables into strips? In time? Lizzie.
Slicing.
Incorrect, Julianne, but appreciate the effort. The final scene of Hamlet is a bloodbath. The last character to die before Hamlet is Ophelia's brother. Name him. Laertes is what we were looking for there. Which 4 presidents are portrayed on Mount Rushmore? In time? Nope. Washington, Theodore Roosevelt, Lincoln, and Jefferson. Multiple choice question. Which state claims the nickname the Land of Enchantment? Is it A, Utah, B, New Mexico, or C, Oregon? That would be myriad.
Oregon.
Incorrect, New Mexico. What is the name of the silk spinning organ used by spiders to create webs and trap insects for food? That would be Adelaida.
Weaver.
I'm sorry, say again?
Weaver.
Incorrect, spinnerets. True or false? Great Britain was the first nation to abolish slavery. That would be myriad.
False.
Incorrect. It's actually true. It is true. This mathematician wrote The Elements. That would be myriad.
Dmitri Melendiv.
Incorrect. Euclid is what we were looking for there. Risk and reward time. The topic is sinking ships. 30 points, up to 30 points in 5-point increments, or you can pass.
10 points. We'll wager 10 points.
10 points. 10 points on sinking ships. Of these 3 ships, which was sunk first? The Lusitania, the Titanic, or the Andrea Doria?
No. The Lusitania was after. No. Wait.
Time. It was the Titanic. All right, Northwood, that is the end of the risk and reward round for you. Let's now clear our scores and let's bring back in Pettisville. All right, welcome back. Let's take a look and see where our teams stand. We're going to start off with Northwood. You have 40 points. Pettisville has 80 points. Still a very, very close competition, especially because coming up next is the category round where questions can be worth up to 30 points apiece. Deductions are going to start. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. Northwood 40 points, Pettisville 80 points. A very close competition, especially as we get ready to move to our category round. Before we do that, though, want to welcome back for Northwood in slot number 2. We want to welcome back Charlie. Welcome back to you. And welcome back to all of our returning players from the last round. All right, this is the category round. Power shifts a little bit now to you, our teams. There are 6 categories to choose from. Questions worth 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points. But I must warn you, deductions do start now. So if you go for 15 points, you're risking 15 points. You may confer before buzzing in, and you can steal a question in this round. And there is one double or nothing question hiding somewhere in there. Northwood, since you have 40 points, you will get to make the first selection.
Roaring 20s for 15.
Roaring 20s for 15 points. Answer these questions related to the Roaring 20s. Some of the most famous gangsters of the Roaring 20s had nicknames like Scarface, Lucky, Legs, and Bugs. What was Scarface's real name? That would be Pettisville. Emily.
Al Capone.
Al Capone is correct. Pettisville takes control.
Math terms for 15.
C math terms for 15 points. Answer each of the following math questions, and it will begin with the letter C. In what type of polygon are all the faces square? Pettisville. Macy.
Convex.
Incorrect. Northwood, chance to steal. That would be Myriad.
Congruent.
Incorrect. We were looking for a cube. Pettisville still in control.
Grammar terms for 10.
Grammar terms for 10 points. What are two or more words called that have opposite meanings? That would be Northwood. Myriad.
Antonym.
Antonym is correct. Northwood takes back control.
Grammar terms for 15.
Grammar terms for 15 points. What type of noun is the name of a particular person, place, or thing? That would be Northwood. Myriad.
Proper noun.
Proper noun is correct. Northwood still in control.
Grammar terms for 20.
Grammar terms for 20 points. What type of punctuation mark is used at the end of an interrogative sentence? That would be Pettisville. Caroline.
Question mark.
Question mark is correct. Pettisville back in control.
Math terms for 20.
Math terms now for 20 points. What three-dimensional figure has two parallel bases that are connected by a curved surface? That would be Pettisville. Macy.
Cylinder.
Cylinder is correct. Pettisville still in control.
Math terms for 30.
Math terms for 30 points. What do we call the point at which three medians of a that would be Pettisville. Macy.
Circumcenter.
Cannot accept that medians of a triangle intersect. Northwood, chance to steal. That would be Adelaida.
Origin.
Incorrect. Centroid is what we were looking for there. Pettisville still in control.
Math terms for 25.
Math terms for 25. What word describes points that lie on the same line? Time. Collinear is what we were looking for there. Pettisville in control.
Washington, D.C. for 10.
Washington, D.C. for 10 points. Based on the given clue, identify each of the following associated with our nation's capital. Man upon whose coat of arms the city's flag is based. That would be Northwood. Myriad.
George Washington.
George Washington is correct. Northwood in control.
The Roaring Twenties for 10.
Roaring Twenties now for 10 points. What nickname was given to forward-thinking women in the 1920s who wore, that would be Pettisville. Emily.
Feminists.
Incorrect. Who wore shorts, fringe, that would be Northwood. Charlie.
Flappers.
Flappers, yes. All right, Northwood in control.
Let's do Washington, D.C. for 15.
Washington, D.C. for 15 points. This is the double or nothing question. What two states border the city? That would be Pettisville. Emily.
Maryland and Virginia.
Maryland and Virginia is correct. Double the points. And control.
Washington, D.C. for 30.
Washington, D.C. for 30 points. American designer and artist who created the plans for the Vietnam Memorial. Not in time. Maya Lin is what we were looking for there. Pettisville still in control.
Washington, D.C. for 20.
Washington, D.C. now for 20 points. Only U.S. president buried in Washington, D.C. Time. Woodrow Wilson. Pettisville in control.
C. Math terms for 10.
C. Math terms for 10 points. This term refers to the pair of numbers used to give the, that would be Pettisville. Caroline.
Coordinates.
Coordinates is correct. Pettisville in control.
D.C. for 25.
D.C. for 25 points. French-born American military engineer who designed the original plans for the city before being dismissed by George Washington. Pierre-Charles L'Enfant is what we needed there. That is the end of the category round. Let's take a look at our score. Northwood with 40 points, Pettisville 120 points. Still very much anybody's game because coming up next is our brainstorm round. Questions worth 20 points, negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. Anybody's game. Stay tuned. And and welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. Northwood 40, Pettisville 120 points. Before we get to our next round, let's welcome back some returning players. In slot number 1, we have Lauren for Pettisville, and in slot number 2 for Northwood, we have Lizzie, both returning from previous rounds. And welcome back to all of our returning players. This is it. This is the brainstorm round. In this round, questions 20 points apiece. Negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, but the big change here is no stealing. No stealing in this round. We move immediately to the next question. Sound good? All right, Pettisville, Northwood. Brainstorm round starts right now. Liberty and independence is the motto of this first state. That would be Northwood. Myriad.
Delaware.
Delaware is correct. What monument is on the back of a $5 bill? Pettisville. Emily.
Lincoln Memorial.
Correct. What country contains the major cities of Chittagong, Rangpur, and Dhaka? That would be Northwood. Myriad.
Vietnam.
Incorrect. Bangladesh. This war from 1839 to 1842 forced China to cede Hong Kong to Britain. Time. It was known as the Opium War. What is a perfect score in bowling? That would be Northwood. Myriad.
300.
300 is correct. What is 20% of 70? Time. 14. What is the official currency of Switzerland? That would be Northwood. Myriad.
The euro.
Incorrect. It is the franc. In Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, what type of creature is Fluffy? That would be Northwood. Myriad.
Three-headed dog.
Correct. What are you afraid of if you have entomophobia? That would be Northwood. Myriad.
Fear of insects.
Correct. Who was the Spanish conquistador known for killing the Inca ruler Atahualpa? That would be Francisco Pizarro is what we needed there. In the eye, what is the dark hole in the middle? That would be Pettisville. Emily.
Pupil.
Pupil is correct. Captain James Cook led 3 expeditions in the Pacific between 1768 and 1779 before being killed by natives of what group of islands? That would be Northwood. Myriad.
The Philippines.
Incorrect. Hawaiian. He was an English physicist and chemist who discovered electromagnetic induction. That would be Northwood. Adelaida.
Nikola Tesla.
Incorrect. Michael Faraday is what we needed there. What Ernest Hemingway novel derives its title from a work by John Donne? End of round. Let's take a look at our score. Northwood with 40 points, and our winner with 160 points is Pettisville. Let's give both these teams a big round of applause. Now, in the spirit of good sportsmanship, let's come around, meet in the middle, shake hands, and we will see you at the next BGSU Brain Game.